Hello, this is Jasmine Hampson, and this is my presentation over Chapter 1 Law, Ethics, and Educational Leadership. Leadership perspective. School leaders will be required to understand, address, and solve problems they encounter. As an administrator, it is that person's responsibility to handle any type of issues, concerns, whether it be from students and or faculty or staff members. Any type of issue or problem that arises is up to the school administrator to solve those things. Now, some issues may be routine or structured problems, meaning they're familiar, they've been solved before. A teacher needs additional supplies, or the students need it's because they consistently talking in class and needs reprimanding, something like that. Those issues are routine structured problems, again, things that have happened before, so there's a routine procedure for that and we know how to handle those things. Other things are called non-routine or ill-structured problems. This is where they're more complex, clarity is not as clear, or the information is not as clear, they're deemed to be messy. The ISLLC conceptual framework provides a foundation for thinking about these problems, about those ill-structured problems. And this framework includes 6 standards which leaders, educational leaders, use to help guide their decision making and promote the success of students. And those particular standards are: standard 1, education leaders promote the success of students by developing and implementing a vision of learning. 2, they nurture and sustain a school culture. 3, they ensure the operation of the school, of all of the organizations, all of those things is safe, efficient, and effective. 4, they collaborate with faculty, community members by responding to any type of issues or problems that they come up with. 5, they act with integrity, fairness, and in an ethical manner. And 6, they understand, they respond to, and influence the political, social, economic, legal, and cultural context of their community. Relating law and ethics to educational leadership. School leaders are expected to make rational decisions in an irrational environment and defend those decisions based on established legal and ethical practices. Big thing that everyone needs to know and understand is that school administrators are the law. They serve as the chief investigator, the prosecutor, the judge, the jury, executioner. Any and everything that happens goes through those administrators. They have the final say so on everything. They are the deciding factor with everything. The irony in this particular thing is that the same person who we trust to protect our rights, as from the teachers to the students to the office staff to the parents, even in these particular situations, they also have they hold the power to violate those same rights. So we put a lot of trust, we put a lot of confidence in our educators, into our administrators, and hope and believe that they are following the law and are also ethical with all of their decision making. Defining ethical leadership. An understanding of ethics is crucial to the proper stewardship of the nation's schools. ISLLC embraces an understanding of law and the value of ethics. So they don't just want us to go by the book with the law. Yes, the law is great. Yes, we want to make sure we are following those laws, but we also want to make sure that we are making sound, rational, and reasoned decisions as it relates to our students and to the educational atmosphere. Choosing to do the right thing based on reason rather than a little foresight. Again, make sure you have most adequate information, the most clear information that you can, and you're just not making decisions based off of false information or just off the top of the head or off of feelings, emotions, or anything like that. You're making a reasoned decision. Ethical decision making considers how people should be treated, but it also involves the words right, just, and or fair. Okay, you also are going to receive some clarity on why things are done opposed to other things. Why was this decision made opposed to something else? The big thing that we need to understand is that even though we like to look at this word ethics as being this one-stop shop, it's not. It's actually a very ambiguous statement. Some people look at ethics as what's right or what's wrong. Other people look at ethics as a code of conduct. Still others interchange it with the words values or morality. Ethics in the educational format can be determined by considering the following questions. What does it mean to be a school leader? How should human beings in school treat one another? How should the educational institutions that we call school be organized? Ethical frameworks. Future school leaders need more than just a definition of ethics. Our frameworks should be used as an organizer or a way of thinking about a problem, not a recipe or a prescription or the actual cure. You're using this as a guide to understand those particular problems and work up different methods, different techniques, different strategy to solve those particular things. So we need to understand as well that not all problems facing school leaders present ethical dilemmas. Some things you don't need to sit down and review, reflect, or bring up any type of reasoning or anything for it, or think for fairness or justice or anything like that. Sometimes choosing between alternatives that are at least some members of the school or community that they're not going to like. Sometimes you're put between a rock and a hard place. Sometimes the staff will be appreciative for a decision and students may be upset, vice versa. But we as educators, as administrators, future administrators, need to understand that this is what comes with the territory. We're not going to make everybody happy, and that's okay. We're not supposed to. If we are, we're not making those reasoned decisions, and we're not following the ethical platform that has been set before us. Combining ethical and legal principles with decision making. The ISLLC standard requires that school leaders use legal and ethical considerations in the decision making. So there are 3 different stages we can use as it relates to solving different problems or identifying different problems and working through those. Stage 1 will be to define the problem. Self-explanatory. Define the parameters around that particular problem. Identify who those primary decision makers may be. And then decide on an acceptable outcome for that particular problem. Stage 2, research. Get input and then do an evaluation, whereas stage 3 is to do make a decision, implement a plan, and then evaluate. In conclusion, school leaders must make rational yet fair decisions. Therefore, they need more than just knowledge of the law. They need a conceptual framework to aid in the analysis and the evaluation of that law. So a clear understanding of these principles combined with an ethical application is the key to effective leadership. This is all I have for today. Thank you.